How is it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its end of the year sale, and I'm here to highlight some of the super cheap deals once again. This time around, under the price of $4. Usually we do under 5, under 3. You know what? There's a lot of deals under 4 that I felt like were quite good. We're gonna go under 3 in this video as well. But, yeah, a lot of good stuff, so let's just get right into it. And, you know, there's gonna be a lot of mention on some lower-key titles, indie games, things of that nature. So why don't we get the Ubisoft open-world game right out the way? Far Cry 4 is 80% off for $3.99. Dude, it's Far Cry. If you like the Ubisoft style of open world games, you're gonna enjoy this. I thought this was still in the era where Ubisoft didn't absolutely cook their perception. I mean, this game came out north of a decade ago, back in 2014, I want to say it was. I might be wrong on the year. No, it was November of 2014, which is insane, because Far Cry 3 came out in 2012, so in the span of 2 years, they got Far Cry 4 out. I enjoyed Far Cry 4. You know, narratively, it was pretty good, and gameplay was enjoyable. Like, I like Far Cry from a gameplay standpoint and its open world design, but it does fall victim to the typical Ubisoft structuring of open world games, which necessarily isn't a bad thing, but it's just very formulaic. And Far Cry 4 was fine for what it was, but at $3.99, man, I think this is a great price. Would be great if we got a full-on upgrade for it, but it is what it is as far as that's concerned. $3.99 on that. We got God's Trigger, which is 80% off for $2.99. Save an additional 5% if you're a Plus subscriber. $2.24 on that. Slay enemies with speed and precision in an over-the-top show of blood and explosions. Play solo or with others. Make split-second decisions, dodge bullets, and use weapons and abilities to inflict violence in the most graphic way possible. When an angel and a demon team up to kill their way into heaven and stop the apocalypse, bullets will fly and blood will be shed. Play solo or with a friend and burst through a room in a matter of seconds, killing enemies with a bucket load of weapons, special abilities, and melee options in a show of blood and explosions. All that for $2.99. Check that out. Next up, the incredibly well-received Broforce is 80% off for $2.99. But better yet, if you are a Plus subscriber, $1.49 for Broforce, which that deal is ridiculous and is honestly at the level of the Soma deal that I covered. Soma, I'm not mentioning in this video, but that's a phenomenal deal right now at $1.50. Broforce at $1.50 is a great deal as well. As far as over-the-top chaotic action, you'll find that in spades in Broforce. You'll deliver your own brand of shock and awe with dozens of bros, each with their own unique weaponry and special attacks designed to dispatch freedom across the world. Bro up and deathmatch battle terrorism with up to 4 players in cooperative mode, or sever ties with your bros and face each other in several bombastic competitive modes as well. Fully destructible everything. On top of that, $1.49 if you're a Plus subscriber. And by the way, if you're not a Plus subscriber, that $2.99 price tag is still really good, so check that out. Next up, we got Saints Row 4 Reelected, 85% off for $2.99. I thought Saints Row 4 built upon Saints Row the Third and the successes of that game decently enough. In terms of wacky open world chaos, you'll find that in Saints Row 4 as well. Is it blow away? No. Is it narratively gonna stick with you for a long time? I personally don't think so. I don't know, maybe some people get super invested into the narrative of Saints Row 3 and 4. I just don't think the games were designed for that. The games were designed for lunacy, and you absolutely get that in Saints Row 4 Reelected as well. You get all the DLC content, or a lot of the DLC content at least. There is the Plague of Frogs pack that they do sell, and that is discounted. But, yeah, you can check that out. And at this price point, $2.99, that's a great pickup on that. Indivisible, 85% off for $2.99, an action RPG platformer featuring stunning hand-drawn art and animation combined with unique real-time combat mechanics. Immerse yourself in a fantastical world with dozens of playable characters, a rich storytelling experience, gameplay that's easy to learn but difficult to master, and the trademark razor-sharp quality that Lab Zero Games is known for. Great art style in this one. Indivisible, available for $2.99. Next up, we got Indigo Prophecy. $2.24 is the base price. Plus subscribers will get it for $1.49, which I think if you're a Plus subscriber, that deal is great. Now, Indigo Prophecy is done by Quantic Dream. It's really the game that put Quantic Dream on the map. And it's a game that absolutely shows its age. I feel like that's generally the case as far as you know, Quantic Dream's titles go. Like Heavy Rain, I feel like, even as good as of a game that was, it shows its age quite a lot. Indigo Prophecy, you got some janky camera work and just a lot of clunkiness to it, but narratively, I still think it's a worthwhile game to play. I want to say I played it like 12, 13 years ago, last time I played it. It's been quite a while since I played Indigo Prophecy, but I remember back then thinking that it was fairly dated. Maybe it was a little bit more recent, but it was around maybe a decade ago. It came out on PC, and then the PlayStation port came out. I might get my timeline a little bit incorrect here, but I played it a long time ago, and I thought it was dated back then is what I'm getting at. And, you know, now, 10 years later, it's also going to be pretty dated. But, you know, if you want to go back and play a narrative-heavy game, Indigo Prophecy will certainly offer you that. $224 on that. Next up, we got Remothered Tormented Fathers, for those of you looking for a horror title. A pure and realistic survival horror game. The story unwinds around Rosemary Reed, a determined 35-year-old woman who arrives at Felton's house to investigate on the disappearance of a little girl some years before. When the host realizes the woman's true intentions, a terrifying ordeal does begin. An atmospheric horror game in Remothered, 90% off for $2.99 there. The Surge is 80% off for $2.99. Now, The Surge came out in an era where I feel like the non-From Software Souls-like titles were still trying to find their footing. You would have Lords of the Fallen come out. That game was pretty mediocre. The original Lords of the Fallen. Then you had The Surge come out. Now, I love The Surge from a setting standpoint. You throw in some robo action for me, I'm very easy to sell when it comes to that. Surge, if you go back and play it now, will definitely have its clunkiness to it. But, you know, if you're a fan of Souls-like games and at $2.99, I think this is a pretty good buy, especially if you like the vibe and the setting of the game. I think that's really what'll draw people over. It ultimately did get a sequel in The Surge too, but $2.99 for The Surge, I think that's a decent pickup. Exit the Gungeon, 75% off for $2.49. A small arcade-style spin-off dungeon climber that immediately follows the adventures of the misfit Gungeoneers attempting to survive a series of increasingly dangerous elevators and countless waves of enemies. The Gungeon has become a paradox and is collapsing. Blessed by the magic of the sorcerers, your gun will change rapidly as you ascend the Gungeon. The better you play, the higher your combo, the more powerful the form your gun will take. Battle against the last and most bitter of the gun dead at a frantic pace, slowing down just long enough to chat with some familiar faces as well, and a few new ones. Exit the Gungeon, 75% off for $2.49. Next up, we have Deadlight Director's Cut, 85% off for $2.24. Set in the apocalyptic 1986, a zombie outbreak has brought humanity to its knees. You play Randall Wayne, a father searching the destroyed streets of Seattle for his family. You'll encounter many life-threatening situations, but combat isn't always the answer. Fight or run from zombie encounters, intense combat, and platforming. Uncover the fate of Randall's family as he searches Seattle, full 1080p with enhanced controls and improved animation. And you can survive the Nightmare difficulty mode, and you've got the survival arena mode. Deadlight Director's Cut is available for $2.24. Next up, we have Strayed Light, 70% off for $3.89. You can save an additional 5% if you're a Plus subscriber. Strayed Lights is a game that I really enjoyed. I played it right when it came out, and I had a great time with this game. It is a Souls-like game, but don't worry about it being challenging. It very much isn't that, and it has this color swapping mechanics where you have to align your color to the colors of the enemies, and it does add a little bit more depth to the gameplay, but it's pretty simplistic, and more than anything, even being a Souls-like game, I thought this game was super relaxing. I thought the sound design was great, the soundtrack itself was really good, and the art direction I just thought was really well done. You know, not something I would spend full price on, but at $3.89 or $3.24 with a Plus subscription, I think this is a great buy if you want a game that's a couple hours long. You know, from my recollection, like around the 5-hour range. It'll be a pretty good time, and it is pretty good as far as a kick back and relax kind of game, even with it having these Souls-like fundamentals. I thought it was a worthwhile game, so good price on that. Amnesia the Bunker, 85% off for $3.74, definitely one of the standout deals of the sale as well. Left all alone in a desolate World War I bunker, with only one bullet remaining in the barrel, it's up to you to face the oppressing terrors in the dark, keep the lights on at all costs, persevere, and make your way out alive. A truly intense horror experience as well. Rising tension, immerse yourself in the multiple ways of tackling survival. In the shoes of the French soldier Henry Clement, you are armed with a revolver gun, a noisy dynamo flashlight, and other scarce supplies to scavenge and craft along the way. One of the better received games from Frictional Games, and for $3.74 seems like a good pickup there. We've got Overcooked, $3.39 on this, 80% off. A chaotic couch co-op cooking game for 1 to 4 players. Working as a team, you and your fellow chefs must prepare, cook, and serve up a variety of tasty orders before the baying customers storm out in a huff. Sharpen your knives and dust off your chef's whites. There isn't much room for error, and the stakes are high in these crazy kitchens. Overcooked also has the chaotic couch co-op component to it, so if you're looking for that, you'll find some fun here. $3.39 for Overcooked. Next up, if you're looking for a throwback Retro shooter Butcher is $2.99, 70% off, plus subscribers will get it for $2.49. A fast-paced 2D shooter and a blood-soaked love letter to the cult classics of the genre as a cyborg program to eradicate the last remnants of humanity. Your sole purpose is to annihilate anything that moves, so grab your weapon of choice and kill your way through underground hideouts, post-apocalyptic cities, jungles, and more. And if you're feeling creative, there are plenty of other ways to end your enemies' miseries. With hooks, lava pits, saws, no death will ever be the same again. Butcher is available for $2.99, and lastly, we have Leap of Faith, 75% off for $2.49. An extremely fast and satisfying action game is noted built around the ability to shadow walk, upgrade over 100 magical skills through an innovative system of randomly generated skill trees, discover the profound and intense stories of 4 characters told through beautifully illustrated cinematics, explore a modern-day cyberpunk fantasy spanning cybernetic labs, dark alleys, and secret societies as well. Leap of Faith is available for $2.49, and that is gonna do it for me. Again, some super cheap games as a part of the end of the year sale on the PlayStation Store. Links to everything, as always, in the description box below. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and as always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.